Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday to you all. Whatever you're up to today, you're at work, you're out with the dog, you're playing some golf, you're going for some beers, or you're going to the gym. Make sure you enjoy it, and if you're at the gym, make sure you work hard. All right. I'm looking at you. You're sitting there the other end of that, going, "Oh Jesus." I'm talking to. But anyway, in this video, we're talking a little bit around some updates around Giovani Celso and Spurs' potential willingness to move on from him in January, as well as the situation with the Dele Alli deal. Everton basically want to revisit it. So, we'll talk about that as well. But let's start with Gio, and let's start with it. And this is two news stories, so I'm going to read you back to back, and then we'll talk about it. So the first one came from Football Insider, who said that Tottenham are prepared to sell Giovani Celso in January and would accept an offer of 15 to 20 million for the 27-year-old. Ekrem Kanur also followed up with Tottenham will listen to offers for the midfielder Giovani Celso in January. La Liga, Premier League, Serie A clubs could make a move for the Argentine. So, fewfold. I think 15 to 20 million is reasonable. I don't think you're asking for clubs to break the bank for, an Argentinian international who's played in the French league, who's done very well in the Spanish league, who's got credibility across European football. You've also got the fact that with Gio, I think a lot of Spurs fans kind of view him kind of how they used to view Romero. All he does is care about Argentina. He doesn't care about Spurs. Move him on. Let's get someone in that does, which I think can be true and can be harsh. I think there's both ways of looking at that. He has had a pretty, I'd say, terrible time at Spurs with injuries. He's been shipped out on loan. He's, had managers tell him that he's not good enough. He's had other managers tell him that he might play, and he's not had the rub of the green. We've still got a couple of months leading into January, but I think the way I'll look at it is this: if we can fetch 15 to 20 million, you potentially could go younger in that position, knowing that you've got Maddison as the main guy. You could potentially go younger. Gio's 27. He's not old whatsoever. He's my age. Oh, he's my age. God, that hurts. But you could go a little bit younger, someone in their early 20s, maybe even a teenager who, with Maddison, can develop, right? That's the way I could look at that. I don't hate it. I think it's not really worked out at Gio. He's been here since Pochettino. That's how long he's been at Spurs now. It's not really kicked on anywhere. He's been through manager after manager after manager. So he has value. He's not, washed up rubbish player whatsoever. His attitude's not even that bad. When he's fit and playing regularly, he's an asset to the club, Just fortunately he's sitting behind potentially the player that's played the best football in the Premier League so far this season in James Maddison. So it's hard for him to get the minutes that he wants. He's had a few injuries as well, which doesn't help. We've got 2 months to kind of see maybe what we've got in Gio. I just don't truly know if he's Ange's kind of guy. It's not to say he can't be. I just don't know if he truly will be. And I think that's the way I'm going to look at it. I think it's probably right to move on if we can get 15, 20 million. I think the other thing I would say on that is don't move him on if you're only going to get a loan deal with an option. Not interested. That creates more work for the summer because we seem to not have people take up the options on our players. So there's no point. He has value. He will be helpful for the squad. But if you can get an offer, an actual permanent deal between 15 and 20 million, then fine. If you're going to be offered 10 million, it's not worth it. If you're going to be offered a loan deal with an option, not worth it. Permanent sale or nothing at all. That's the way I would look at it. Okay. Let's talk Dele Alli quickly. So, yes, Dele Alli moved obviously from Spurs to Everton in a deal that was a bit odd, but basically what it was a free transfer. But if he hit certain numbers, Spurs were going to be given money from Everton. So, for example, the first one was if he played in 20 games, started or off the bench, Spurs would receive 10 million, okay? And it climbs up and up. I think it can reach 40 million. If I think I remember correctly, it can reach 40 million. So, Chris Bascom in Telegraph Football put out that Everton are in talks with Tottenham over Dele Alli appearance clause. Basically, Everton don't want to pay the 10 million. Don't sign the deal then. I know you've got financial fair play issues and things like that, but let's be frank. If Dele Alli is 75% of the player that he was at his peak at Spurs, he's Everton's probable best player. He'd keep you up. He'd probably get you mid-table football. He was an England international. He's one of the best youngsters when he was at his peak in English football history as an English player. It doesn't really show faith in him, to be honest. Everton kind of going, we don't want to spend the money on you, to be honest, mate. So we won't play you if we can't get that money down, which is appalling. Flat out was appalling. I know you've got financial fair play issues, but you're not exactly filling the player with confidence that you're kind of saying, look, we like you, but we don't like you that much. Don't like you to spend any money on you, even though we got you for free anyway. Mate, that one makes sense first and foremost. I think, look, he's on 13 appearances. He's got 7 more to go until he reaches that 20 appearance mark for Spurs to reach 10 million. He's been injured this season. Obviously, he had surgery in the summer, so he's been injured this season. Look, I can see Spurs doing a deal with Everton. I think they've got a very good relationship, Spurs and Everton. There's no hostility between the two clubs. I think they'll do a deal with him, but they'll kind of say, we're not going to waive all of that money. We still want money. You've got this player for free so far. Okay, maybe it's not worked out, but that's not our problem. We agreed a deal that you would give us money if you played him. You want to play him? Yeah? Yeah, we do. Okay, let's come up with agreement that you're still going to be giving us money. Maybe not 10 million. Maybe it's like 5 million. And if Everton say no to that, then it's just appalling, really, because you've done a deal, you've realised you've not got the money now, and now you're going, oh God, we need to get out of this deal somehow. And that's just not great. That's not good enough on the player, full stop, or the club you're dealing business with. Because you're going to get to a point that clubs aren't going to want to do business with you because they think, well, you're just going to try and back out of the deal at some point. Spurs and Everton, I think, will come to an agreement. I think Spurs will do him a solid and try and knock down a few quid off of it, that's for sure. But they might even stretch it over a longer appearance distance. So, for example, if he plays 40 times, Spurs get 40 million. I'm not saying that's the case, but you know what I mean. They'll go, all right, well, we still want the idea that we can get 40 million, but let's stretch it to like 60, 70 appearances. I know the deal was a little bit longer than that, but just to hypothetically so you can understand, I think they'll go, we still want the 40 million, but we'll stretch out a bit further, so maybe the instalments are a little bit less. Because if he plays, let's say, 40 games this year, I mean, that's 27 games. It's not a lot when you think we're only a little bit through the season. He might still end up playing those 27. He might end up playing only 20 games. Okay, cool. Well, this season you've only paid 5 million for him. Next season you might end up paying 10 million because he's played another 30 games and he's hit those instalments. That's the way I think they might look at it. I think that would be smart for Everton to do it. I think it'd be smart for Spurs to do it. Keep the idea is not always about draining every single penny from every single deal. Try and keep some sort of like contact with good clubs in hand, because you never know. Everton might have a player that's absolutely unreal. They get relegated, for example, and Spurs kind of come in and go, hello mate, we quite like him. Can we do a deal? And Everton probably might do you a bit of a solid, you know? Maybe Onana works out to be really good and Spurs go for him, that kind of vibe. I'm not saying it happened, I'm just saying potential. And I hope Spurs kind of look at it in that futuristic sort of way. Oh, we've got some financial fair play issues. Well, come on, we like this guy. Let's do this. Let's try and work something out. That kind of thing. Because I think Daniel Levy doesn't have the best reputation with other clubs. It'd be good if he had a reputation with a few clubs that didn't mind him. But we shall see. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below around Giovani and Celso. Is 15, 20 million fair enough for you? Who would you like us to go for to replace him? Because he's only moving on if we replace him. Obviously, you've got the Dele Alli situation. Let me know about that as well. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit the bell notification for more, because I will have another video out a little bit later around a name that a few of you mentioned, but it's only now really that a report's coming out about him. So you're going to want to stick around for that. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care, guys.